Hello everyone, Assalamu alaikum, welcome to another video. In this video we will be talking about setting up your own private cloud server or your own private cloud. It can be your storage cloud, it can be your computing cloud, and in this part we are just going to discuss what do we need to create a cloud, and creating a cloud itself will come on the next video, on another video. All the practical stuff will be there inshallah. And in this video, only theoretical, we will discuss what is cloud actually, how can we benefit from it, what hardware do we need, what software do we need, how we are going to connect all together, everything, and how actually it will work together. So this will be in two languages actually. First part will be in English, the second will be in Urdu or Hindi. If you have not subscribed to my channel, you can go ahead and subscribe to my channel. It's a new channel, and subscribers and watch hours are desperately needed. So if you like my work, my efforts, and if you have benefited from any of my previous videos, I would request you to please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. To start, first we should know, or we should discuss about the definition of cloud. What is a cloud service or a cloud server, or what is actually a cloud? Well, a cloud is resources on someone else's computer or server on the internet. This is pretty much the layman's or the most basic definition which you can get. I also read somewhere on the internet that a cloud is someone else's computer on the internet. Well, this also sums it up, and it also defines what a cloud is. Basically, cloud is exactly nothing else than a resource or a computer or a web server or any kind of server or any kind of resource on someone else's network or someone else's computer on the internet. So for your own cloud, you need a good server. You need something to deploy your services on, like a good server or a good machine, and you need an operating system, you need a nice firewall, you need a nice router, you need a nice switch, you need a nice network. I will be discussing everything in quite detail. This is just a roundup on what you need. And well, if you are looking to, or if you are studying, or if you are like going to invest on a cloud for your office or for your home, or just let's not say the cloud word again. We'll just stick with the server word from now. So if you are going to invest on a server, or if you are going to create a server, like if you, for gaming purposes, for storage purposes, for computing, for media, for DNS, for DHCP, for anything, and you want someone on the internet to be able to access it, and he accesses it, that means he accessed a type of a cloud service. So a myth of like what the cloud is, I need for example, I have an instance of a machine on Google Cloud or Amazon AWS or Azure, Microsoft data centers, or Microsoft Cloud, or Oracle Cloud. It is nothing else. It is nothing more than a virtual machine which they create and they give you access. That's it. That is it. Nothing else. So we will be discussing how you can do the same thing, and how you can give the same thing to your users, to yourself, or to your home, or anyone. To begin everything, the base of your cloud infrastructure will be your servers. So choose wisely, plan ahead. I don't recommend you to start with a small server, and then if you like for the trial purposes, you can go ahead, you can do this. You can for proof of concept, you can start with the virtual machine, exactly, not with the server, not with the physical machine. With the virtual machine on your desktop, on your laptop, you can begin working with it. And whenever you are confident that yes, it works out and you need this, what you are looking for, this is exactly what you were looking for, then you can go ahead, purchase your server, and restructure your network accordingly. For the server bit, for the hardware bit, I recommend getting like maximum hardware which you can on your budget. I recommend you to get a physical, real server machine, not a desktop machine, because there are a ton of different hardware types, and the servers are built to run 24/7. The desktop machines also run 24/7 without any issues. I've been using computers since 2008-9, and I barely shut them down. Speaking with the performance point of view, server machines will, of course, will give you a better edge on performance, on reliability, and a lot of other sectors or areas which your normal desktop could not give you. For example, if you have a physical server machine, which I have a couple of them lying down here, quite old one. Actually, I got in hold of the 20-something-year-old server. It's there. I didn't switch it on. I don't know whether it works or not. That'll be for another video. I will try to turn it on and see if it still works. It's been sitting down, I think, since 12, 13 years now, but it is more than 20 years old. Anyways, coming back to the topic, you should go for the maximum hardware which you can afford on your budget, and I recommend you to going for the physical server machine, because they have redundant everything. Two CPUs, like redundant CPUs, redundant power supplies, redundant hard drives, redundant fan, redundant RAM sticks. They have completely everything instead of two. Not instead of two, I said instead of two. So if, just in case if one CPU fails, you don't have your cloud down or you don't have your server down, it will still work, but it will give you warning that this component has failed. Just replace it. If it is hot swappable, you don't even have to turn your system off. Pull it out from the cabinet, open up the enclosure, the case, and swap what is hot swappable, like hard drives, your fans, not CPUs and not RAMs. Actually, power supplies are hot swappable and other stuff like that. You go for the server machine, you will have something called out of the band management. In HP, you have ILO. In Dell, I don't know, you have something which I don't remember. I use HP a lot, like 99% I use HP. ILO or out of the band management can help you control your server from anywhere in the world. Like even if the server is switched off, you can log into the ILO administrative panel and you can turn your server on. You can view physical hard drive status if some hard drive has failed, or fan status, or like all the components which are there in your server, you can see through out of the band management or ILO interface or ILO subsystem. It comes online. It has a dedicated Ethernet port. It comes online as soon as there is enough power to the server to boot the subsystem of ILO. And once it's up, you can log into the ILO and you can turn on your server. You can turn off your server. You can even use out of the band management or ILO to remotely, wherever you are in the world, get a monitor output, a console output. You can use your keyboard, mouse to interact with your server without having to connect your keyboard, your video, your mouse, KVM. I think that was my second or third video which I made. It was all about installing an OS to a server without connecting keyboard, video, mouse, but that was in Urdu or Hindi. If you guys want that to be in English, just request for it in the comments below, and I may create a video. I may re-record the audio for that video for you. The next thing you will need is an operating system. You can have either VMware ESXi, you can have Windows Server, and then you can have Hypervisor on it, Hyper-V. You can either have vSphere, VMware vSphere, any hypervisor, bare metal hypervisor or any hypervisor which you prefer. Even it can be your VMware workstation on your Windows machine, working as a VMware server, and running a couple of machines there. Whatever works for you. If you are doing this for POC, proof of concept, to show your boss or to see if it really this is what you wanted, then I would recommend you to install VMware workstation on your Windows laptop or desktop, and then you can create virtual machine and you can see if this helps you in any way. Or you can use Proxmox VE, which I use pretty much everywhere I need virtualization or I need to make a bare metal hypervisor. I use this. This is the best. It comes with all the bells and whistles which you get on the high end or the paid most expensive hypervisor, bare metal hypervisors like VMware, vSphere, like live migration and like clustering and high availability and failover. All these things you get it for free. If you don't want support, of course, as it is open source, you can get it for free. I love Proxmox so much that I even replaced all of my ESXi installation with my Proxmox. So this is the best. I just love it. And the new Proxmox VE supports supports VMware virtual disk. So if you have a previous virtual machine installed on a VMware workstation or VMware ESXi or Hyper-V, you can just use the same hard drive, virtual hard drive, and you can create a virtual machine on the latest Proxmox 6.1 something, and then you can just boot it up from there. You don't need to do the conversion and all that kind of technical stuff which was necessary on the older versions, but the Proxmox VE is the gem or the star or the rock star. So the next video, when I will be showing you guys, I will be showing you on Proxmox because I use it a lot, and almost 99% of my virtualization on my cluster or my cloud is based on Proxmox. Okay, the next, if you are into storage, if you are into cloud storage or storage cloud, then you might need a lot of hard drives. I recommend brand new hard drives, SAS or SATA or whatever connectivity you require, and I would recommend you to do at least RAID 5 on them to be relaxed and to know that your effort will not be ruined even if one hard drive fails or your cloud doesn't goes down at one hard drive failing. The next thing you would need is a domain name or a domain hosting, web hosting type of thing from any of your favorite web hosting provider, with of course dedicated DNS which you have capability to modify DNS record, and then you should have capability to add subdomains, add-on domains. You can add redirections, that kind of stuff you need from a domain, from a DNS provider or from your hosting provider. You would need a public IP address. It can be public, it can be dynamic, it can be static. It doesn't matter actually, but you will need a public IP address. Your router probably got one. You need to have a nice firewall, you need to have a nice router. If you're using MikroTik or if you will use MikroTik, you can have firewall and you can have the router both into one good package. For the NATing also you can use the same MikroTik, of course, the best. Again, I use it wherever I can. MikroTik access point switches, routers, or point-to-point, point-to-multi, wherever I will use a network equipment, I consider MikroTik first, and then Cisco, and then whatever fits in, whatever is required actually. How everything will be aligned together to give us the cloud kind of thing. The first thing which we of course required was the server. So we will have a server hypervisor on it. We will create virtual machines or containers on that hypervisor, all right? Then we will install web server or whatever application we require on that particular machine or on that container or on that virtual machine, and then we will assign an IP address, and then on the router side we will open an incoming NAT port. For example, we have we have a port 80, means we have a web server inside our local area network, and we want that web server to be accessible. That can be anything web, like your own PHP application, your own network monitoring server, anything that works on any port inside can be mapped or accessed with any port from the outside. For example, port 80 inside, you can map it to port 90 from outside. If someone like tries to access your public IP address with the port 90, if you have done everything right, your netting goes right, your network is all networked and routed and well designed, then that particular IP address with port 90 will respond to your this web server's page. You can of course change the ports from inside also. You can change from outside as well. So it really doesn't matter how many servers or how many containers or how many virtual machines do you create in your hypervisor, and it doesn't really matter how many external ports do you open for these services. I think pretty much there will be enough ports to support like more than 100 virtual machines or 100 resources, you can say, or 100 or more, I guess. Not 100, it could go more than 100 resources or servers or applications or anything, like anything which you can access through the web can be mapped through this technique, thus giving you a cloud, your own private cloud. So this is basically what it really is. This is pretty much it. Actually, this is how a cloud works. In Amazon, in Amazon, Microsoft, Google, whenever you purchase an instance, what they will do, they will give you a slice of their hardware. Slice means they will create either a virtual machine or a guest or a slice or a container, and they will give you access to that container. What they will do, they will map that container with a public IP address, and then they will give it to you, and then you can use it as you require. Now they have a special or custom built applications, custom built hypervisor, you can say, custom built everything that enables them to do what they are doing, like selling the hardware resources without any human intervention between the users and between the machines. Right now, in our scenario, if you want to do the same thing, if you want to resell your physical, your virtual resources, your virtual machines or your container, or if you want to resell them, like your virtual machine or your container, you can also resell. But the thing is, you cannot accept payments online on Proxmox or in our scenario. All you have to do is get the cash from the customer, any means, and then create a virtual machine, map that virtual machine with an IP address, external IP address if you have /24 block, or if you have more block, like a huge bigger block, more than 254 IP addresses, you can just bind one IP address, do one-to-one natting with one external or public IP address with one internal IP address, and you can create an account on Proxmox VE. And then you can give them the access, and they can control the virtual machine. They can turn on, they can turn off, they can do pretty much whatever you can do on your hypervisor. But they cannot delete, they cannot do some kind of stuff which you don't allow for the users to do. Thank you very much for watching this video. the whole discussion which I did, which I try to explain how cloud works, I hope it is quite clear. If you did not understand something, or something which using, or something which you wanted to know and it was not there in the video, do put that on the comments below, and I will be more than happy to assist you, either via email or reply to that comment, or maybe I can just add another video and I can do all of your questions on the new video. So this is pretty much everything. This is the whole, you can say, the myth on cloud. How does the cloud work? How do you create a cloud? How will you create a cloud, and how would you access it from outside? This is how you will access it. Ports, if you don't have public IP addresses, if you have public IP addresses, you don't need to open ports, just assign one IP address, internal IP address. You can NAT one internal IP address to one external IP address, live IP address I mean, and they can be NATed one to one. So whenever you want to access something from outside, you can just use that IP address to access the resources on the virtual machine or the container you have in your hypervisor or in your server. Now you can use ESXi hypervisor, VMware vSphere hypervisor. You can use Microsoft Hyper-V. The concept remains same. Everything else is same. Only the hypervisor or bare metal hypervisor will be different. Otherwise, it would be same. So thank you for watching again. Thank you for watching till this very end, and do let me know if you have any more queries or any more topics you want me to cover. And thank you for watching. Bye bye.